Hello, welcome back to Star and Flurry. I am coming to you with some new decks. First, an apology, and then some new decks that I just got that are all kind of odd, and I love them all. So, my apology is that I didn't get your weekly readings out this week. I had a big family gathering on the Oregon coast this weekend, and it was incredibly inspiring, but also incredibly tiring. And I thought that when I got home on Monday, I'd be able to bang out some readings for everybody, but it just turns out that no. So I went, you know what? I just got to take a break. I kept pulling cards, and the Four of Swords was absolutely stalking me, and I was like, okay, I hear you. I'll stop. I'll relax, take a moment, and catch my breath. As a I guess people would describe me as an extroverted introvert. And while I can be quite lively and really enjoy large gatherings, they absolutely exhaust me. And when they happen over a 4-day period, every day being an 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, a full day of interacting with people, I just have a really hard time recovering from that. So, and it's it's a first world problem. I understand that, but it just it exhausts me, and I need a moment to get my crap back together. So, anyways, I apologize. We'll be back on track on Sunday for next week's readings. So I have four new decks. I wasn't going to include this one because I just wasn't, but this deck's been under the obsidian for a few days because it was particularly nasty the first couple of days. I pulled it out, and so it's been under the obsidian for a few days, and I just pulled it out again and threw some cards. I was like, well, we haven't really gotten rid of that negative energy, have we? But nonetheless, it's a beautiful deck, and I want to share it. I just got this one today. I can't remember who told me about it. So this is you can get a feel for it looks like it. When it came in the mail, I was like, did I just get a used, beat up, Powell's used books copy? But it's just the way this whole thing, it looks like a book, but it looks like a worn out book. Like it's like, look at these creases, like it's been through the trash, but it's not. It's brand new. And this is the same person who did the horror, who has done the horror tarot, horror HORROR tarot, and also the Pulp Fiction tarot. So he's really into kind of old. I don't know if they're real movie posters, real posters from smut magazines or whatever, but they sure look like them, and they're just great, and I absolutely love them. And I'm not sure who I got inspired from to buy this deck, but I'm so glad I have. I haven't had much of a chance to work with it yet, but it's so fun. The Joker Tarot I've had on pre-order for, pardon me, a long time, and it is as creepy as expected. The Whispers of Time Tarot by Sonia Kulinak is just incredible, and I can't wait. I'm not going to do walkthroughs of all these. We don't have time for that today, but I am going, or tonight, but I am going to show you pieces of these decks so you can get a taste of them and see if it's something you might want to think about. Again, I'm not here to sell you decks. I'm here to show you some interesting decks. And I will tell you that either the tarot creators have got me dialed in, or they're just getting much better at what they do, which is a little bit scary. But I am trying to be mindful of my purchasing. I purchased these kind of over a period of time, and I'm just now kind of putting them together to kind of share with everybody. So there's that. So let's start new, almost new, not newest. so this one I just received today. I got these a couple of days ago, and this one about a week ago. So let's start with, we'll go from newest to least newest. So here are the backs. Typically, he has these very busy backs that incorporate the name of the deck, which is fine. I know that people get frustrated by this, but this is almost a signature back at this point with his tarot. God, that's hard to say. With its black and red horror tarot little print, and then the Pulp Fiction is the same way. Only it's horror tarot is green. Pulp Fiction red. I can't quite remember. Anyways, it comes in this great little box. Just super nice. Looks like a book. Little ribbon. Nice little, very little white book, but just enough info. Really, just all you need. And the cardstock is his typical. I guess I want to say typical cardstock. It's fine. It's not super special. It's got some snapback to it. It's fine. Like I said, it's not a linen. It's just a smooth finish. It's not a particularly shiny deck. It's got a little gloss to it, but not enough to show off here, which tells you that but it's also not black either. I mean, what did I say? Did I say black? I meant matte. It's not a matte finish by any stretch. Anyways, so this deck, I'm just going to show a few cards because it's just so much fun. So, Six of Pentacles, Sci-Fi Tarot is a little bowed, but they always are. I hate to mention it because the truth is that I live in I don't even know what the humidity is here right now, but it's probably like 16%. It's really dry. So if these decks are shipped from anywhere that has moisture in the air at all, we have an issue. But they generally seem to settle down after a week or two. Anyway, so Queen of Cups, Sci-Fi Tarot. I mean, these really look... Again, I should read the guidebook, but I don't know if these are actual covers of science fiction magazines or what. This one says, I have to get it close to the light, she holds life in the palm of her hand. Queen of Cups. And this one, the small print says, what does it say? It was an astounding act of charity that would change history. But what did it mean? So these are really like looking at old, just old. If you've ever been into an antique store that has a lot of, just bookshelves of old magazine covers, or magazines, but like Life magazine and Look. These are magazines I grew up with. My parents subscribed to all of them, along with National Geographic. So National Geographic, Look, and Life were the fancy magazines we got, and some of the other magazines that were out at that time were ones like this. A lot of them, like the Pulp Fiction and the horror and all this. Anyway, so these are just hail back to that age of old magazine covers. Anyways, adventure of the spirit, first to set foot upon a new world. So I don't think, what does it say? The Knight of Wands. So I don't think of these as actually cards with descriptors, but I guess in a way they are. Because, well, here's one. The Queen of Wands does not have any wording at all. It's just the Queen and her wand and her very pink. What kind of cat is that? Egyptian kind of cat. Anyway, so Four of Cups. So they don't all have descriptors, but a lot of them do. I'm just gonna. But so, anyways, if this is a style you like, and apparently I like it, because I have all three of these decks now, and I don't use the horror tarot all that much. I use the Pulp Fiction tarot for quite a while, but this one I think I'm gonna use. I just love it. It just reminds me of my parents bought this old rickety cabin up on Mount Hood ages ago, and it was such a treat. It had been lived in for many years and ignored for many years, and so we had to really do a lot of repairs and dig through everything. Sold as is, so we had a lot of furniture, and I love this. I love the ray gun. Furniture and what am I trying to say? Sheds and things to go through. But one of the funnest things for my brother and I was climbing up into the attics. There were 2 attics above each bedroom. You walked into kind of a main living room, then off the main living room, between the just gigantic, beautiful stone fireplace, which was the only thing that was really intact when my parents bought this place, were these gigantic, beautiful attics. And so we finally got a ladder out because we were curious about what was up there. And I think my parents were ready to get us out of their hair for the evening. So they gave us the ladder and let us climb up there. And what we found were stacks and stacks of detective, old, sleuthy, pulp fiction detective magazines. And some of them were quite, for the time, were quite, even for our time, for our age, were quite risque, and it was really funny. And so my brother and I were quite, and we might have had some friends with us as well. But we were super quiet up there for a long time because we didn't want to get busted. We felt like we had found just the gold mine of stuff the gold mine of smut, and. Of course, at some point, the parents are like, okay, they are way too quiet here. So finally, Dad climbs up the ladder and, kind of, I can't believe you guys are looking at this shit. But did he throw them out? No, he did not. Did he gather them up, and did we help him gather them up and bring them downstairs? Yes, we did. And those magazines, because they just were a piece of just somebody's incredible history, we kept them in like a magazine rack and baskets of stuff throughout the little cabin. And so anytime anybody came to visit, inevitably they would dig through one of these magazine holders and pull these things out, and we're just like, what is this? We're like, surprise. It was a very fun memory that I have of that cabin. Oh my God, that was so funny. Okay, next. Let's do this one. The Whispers of Time Tarot. This is a Little Scarabeo deck, as you can probably recognize from the lid. I am a Little Scarabeo fan in every way, shape, or form, except I prefer their tuck box versions, mostly because I prefer that cardstock that they use. The cardstock they use in these forms of boxes is always a little thicker and harder for me to shuffle. And I've been known to actually order from their Italian website to get a particular deck, which is the one, Traditions in Time, something like that. I got the kit from, because Little Scarabeo was distributed by Llewellyn here in the U.S., and I got their kit for that. I think it's Traditions in Time, something like that. I don't think that's it, but whatever. And the kit was lovely, but the cardstock was really thick, and so, and it bugged me because I really liked the deck, but I just wasn't using it. And so I looked on the Little Scarabeo website in Italy, and they had it in a tuck box, and so I ordered it, and that's the particular version of that deck that I use the most, because it's just the cardstock is better. Anyways, I didn't see this offered. It could be I didn't go very far to figure it out. But anyways, Whispers in Time. I don't know exactly who inspired me to get this deck. I don't know where I saw it. I am not a Amazon, Etsy scroller for tarot decks. But I'm easily, I admit, easily influenced by the tarot tubers I watch. Anyways, this is a beautiful deck, beautiful backs, reversal, and they have a gold gilding. It's okay. It's not the gold gilding that's going to cut your fingers in half, but I don't know. I think they're feeding into a trend, and I wish they wouldn't. It does have that. If I can get that beautiful, that beautiful sound of a deck shuffling. It's great. But it does. But as you can see, it's very thick. I should have brought a small. Oh, here. Let me show you this. I've got the Stretch Tarot here, which is a linen cardstock. Right here, you can see the difference in size. I mean, it's incredible. So that's there is the difference. One of my favorite decks. Anyways, always on my desk. So anyways, let me show you some cards. So this is, and this I wish, I should have done a little more pre-planning here. This is very reminiscent of a, I I don't think it's, God, I didn't even think to look. Don't think it's the artist that I'm thinking of. Yeah, it isn't. So the deck is by Sonia Kulyanak, and the graphic design is by Chiara I'm butchering it, sorry. Demagistris. Demagistris. Here's the thing. Anyways, Little Scare Bear has several decks that have this feel to them. And that's why I like it so much. Not complaining. It's on, I would say that it's on the darker side of images, but not in the darker side of morality, if that makes sense. So, Three of Cups, gorgeous. Again, not in any particular order. But you can see kind of the dark, the camera actually is brightening them up quite a bit. In the afternoon of daylight, I can read these just fine, but when the sun goes down, I do need to pull a lamp out. But what I love is the font size is perfect. I can read it. It's light, and I just think the coloration of this deck is freaking stunning. It's kind of reminiscent of the Venetian Tarot in terms of coloration. Not the imagery so much, but the coloration. And what's nice is it's a very matte, well, you can hear it. I'll do it again. It's a very matte finish. I think I love this cardstock. It snaps back. It's not, any kind of special core. I don't think it's just well curated cardstock. But anyway, so here's some more images. Oh, the Ace of Cups. Beautiful hermit. I just love that one too. Some of these, the Fool. Oh my God, he's glorious. So this is just really an interesting. So you get, and I love. Oh my God, this is the Knight of Pentacles. Isn't she gorgeous? It's just, and the background colors. Oh, the moon. Really, just well done, reflectionary art, which I love. Now is this the guy? Yeah, I have trouble with this Hanged Man because of the, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it looks like a Hanged Man instead of a perspective change, so I don't like that. But look at the star. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Anyway, so that is this deck. Here's a love. So yeah, so this whole deck looks like that. So if you're intrigued by those images, I would say don't hesitate. You're gonna love this deck. But do know the cardstock's a little on the thick side. It's just typical this kind of box, very hard box by Lo Scarabeo. But you know what cardstock you're getting when you order from there. This again is Lo Scarabeo. Joker Tarot. It's been on pre-order forever, and it's got a creep factor of 10. I'm not gonna lie about that. And it comes. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to say about the little white book in the Whispers of Time. In this Whispers of Time Tarot is exactly like this one. It's several different languages. So the little white book portion for those in English, and I assume it's the same for each and every other language that follows, is about this big. So it's about this much. So about 1/5. I don't know all the languages, but I'd say 1, 2, 3. It looks like 4 different languages. So this is 38 pages of things. No card pictures, and that's fine. It's typical Little Scarabeo, and it's fine. So this is the okay. Anyway, so let's get to the cards. Okay, so very look at this face. I gotta get it close enough so you can see it. Oh my God, so very creepy face. Definitely reversible, as are all the other decks I've shown you today. This is very matte, no shine. Very similar to the Whispers of Time. It still has that Great thing. These are all regular tarot size. And this, again, to the stretch tarot, I think it's exactly the same as the Whispers in Time. So there's the thickness difference between a kind of a general linen stock versus a thicker stock. Anyways, okay, so let's get to none of these decks, by the way, are edged, FYI. So here we go. Just so few. So this looks like it's black and white, but it's not. It's but very muted colors. Now I do have a problem with this deck because, and this kind of goes throughout the deck, and I honestly don't know if it's a misprint or if the image is just because they shaved off his crown. I don't understand why they did that. And this is not unusual. Not all of them are like that, but a lot of them are like that. I mean, look at this guy, scythe, half gone. I mean, it's a beautiful image, but it just seems like the image is off the card. These ones, like ones like this, it doesn't really make a difference. But still, a lot of this bird that is attacking this very creepy guy is kind of missing. Now this one is like, to me, that's how it should be. Well-centered, crown fully there. Here's the star. Beautiful card. I love the star. But here, again, part of the head chopped off. Not the headdress. Part of it chopped off. I love wheel fortunes that use Ferris wheels. I don't know why. That's becoming more common. I absolutely love it. Six of Swords. Again, part of the head chopped off. Well, not the head. Again, the hat. And I don't understand why they did that. I hope this is focusing. Sorry if it isn't. You know, decks on cards like, I love that weird image. Five of Cups. Oh my God. It's so beautiful. But I think when you look at this, it's just, you know, it's fine. If the image was cut off, you don't know it. Same with this one. Fine. I love these. I love the jester hats. They're so great. And this guy, oh my God, Ten of Swords. So freaking creepy. Seven of Wands. I mean, these really are kind of out of a horror show. Now here, see, that's perfect. That's fine. Headdress, hat all intact. Image, fine. Image, fine. Well, yeah, kind of. But again, part of the crown is missing. You know, here's what's missing in this one. We're not sure at the top of the image. Here's the Fool. Great Fool. Rather than on a clip, he's on a cobbled table. Which, oh my God. Again, here's a Queen. Crown missing. Or top of the crown. Missing. Beautiful Pentacles. Beautiful Chariot. Knight of Pentacles. Three of Swords. This is one of, now I'm not a big fan of the heart stabbing Three of Swords, but this one is really, I think this is a very special Three of Swords, and kudos to them for this image. I think it's cool. He has a heart in his hand that is dripping, but it's not stabbed. It's just there, and he's holding his hand to his head, which is because the Three of Swords is about the heartache in your head, not really so much in your heart. And that to me is what's special about this card, is I think it speaks to that. So that's good. But here, the Hangman. I mean, that's okay, I guess. I mean, I like the Hangman, actually. Again, these images, you have to be prepared for them. But here, again, the head is just bumping up right against the top. This one is great. What was the one that really, was the Ace of Swords? Here's another crown that's kind of chopped off. Have we been to the Aces? Have we seen the Ace of Swords yet? That was the one that really stood out to me. It reminded me of the, sorry I'm digging through all this stuff, but I want to share it with you. From the Spacious Tarot, it was at the, I can't remember which swords card it was, but it was where the the crow or the vulture or whatever it was literally cut off at the top of the card, and it was just bad. And I didn't notice it until somebody else mentioned it, and it turns out it was very much a misprint. And she had some other ones printed up. Here's another one. Is this Hierophant? Yeah. Where his headdress just kind of gone. I don't understand that. I think that's odd that they let that go. And it's kind of one of these things where did they just see it and go, oh, we'll be fine? Or was this planned? This was scary. 7 of Cups. Head in the hand. I love this 2 of Pentacles. Some of these cards are stunning. They're almost got a what's this, Banksy kind of feel to them. Here's a great Knight of Swords. Beautiful. Look at that. But again, these little cut-off crowns and things like that really bug me. And this one, here's the Ace of Swords. I mean, it just looks like the image is enlarged beyond the card. And I don't get it. Because this is a beautiful hilt. And it's so frustrating that it's cut off. So I adore that. I've had this deck for 3 days. I adore it. I think it's so bizarre. And I think it's going to be really fun to work with as my days move forward. But I have to say that those little weird things bother me. And because it seems, especially for Low Scarabeo, it seems lack of attention. I mean, I don't get it. And it bugs me. And I'm hoping that I can get beyond that because I really, really like this deck. Or if they issue a thing that says we're going to reprint it, I will. I'm not looking for a refund. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm looking for a deck where the images are printed appropriately. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Okay, so next is the Quen. I don't even know how to pronounce it. And I guess it won some award. It says, what does it say? International Cartomancy Award, Best Tarot Deck for 2022. Again, I saw this deck on somebody's channel. I wish I could remember who. Love the box. Thank you for opening it all the way. Little ribbon. Certificate of Authenticity. It did not come with a white book because it absolutely follows the, what am I trying to say? The RWS. And what is all this extra stuff in here? Several extra cards that you can pick and choose which card you want to represent certain cards, and I have already done that. I won't share that part of it. You know, if you want to walk through, let me know and I'll do it. This is the most interesting card stock. It is. I didn't shuffle any of the others because they're all hard for me. This one, on the other hand, is quite nice. So I'll share it. But it's also, I will say the card stock is fairly flimsy. Where is this? But for smaller hands, I don't mind that. It just speaks to the wear and tear, the ability of the deck to withstand wear and tear. But the truth is, given my experience with most of the decks I use, I treat them like freaking eggs. They are precious and will always be precious. And I'm going to be hard pressed to beat up any tarot deck, except I beat up gilding really easily, but that's just because of the gilding and because of my little hands with nails that dig in when I can't reach around the card. Anyways, this has a very light gilding on it. It's not going to last. I can already tell you it's already wearing out, and I've had this deck for you can see it for like 3 days, and that's what's happening with shuffling. So it's going to wear out. That's fine. That's fine. I don't care. Anyways, they have beautiful, get this, oh, it's this way. Beautiful backs, not reversible. So there's that glitch, but who cares? I don't read reversals, so I don't care about that kind of stuff, but just for those who do. The cards themselves are like a pen and ink watercolory drawing. There is the guidebook. You download it. I was going to say I have a guidebook, but it's not in here. It's in digital. Describes all of the meanings of these locations. But the images themselves do not wander. A few do, but not many wander far from the RWS. But it's just I really like the calmness of the artwork. And all the cards do have their numbers in Roman numerals at the top. Which one's that? The Eight of Wands. So I like the little difference in take on the Eight of Wands. You know it's the Eight of Wands immediately, but it's just a little different. Five of Cups. And I love the muted and yet very vibrant, rich colors in the artwork. It's really beautiful. It's a nice change up, from the standard one. And they have little borders, but they're like hand drawn. They're not offensive at all. They contain the artwork, I think. In my opinion, they do not destroy it. I love this Ten of Swords in that the swords do not penetrate the body. I thank you. If I do a walkthrough of this, I'll do a little more research on the development of this deck and what the special meanings of the locations mean here. Because I know it's there. I haven't read the guidebook enough to be able to share it with you. So anyways, gorgeous. So that's a pre-sample of the Quen or Quen Forget Me Tarot de Gap, which is frankly the best tarot deck name I've heard in a very long time. So that's the story. Where are we at time-wise here? So I'll be reaching out to you in the next couple days again with another video, just catching you up on my van camping experiences. I had a lot of lessons and some funny stories, all produced by one night of camping. So but I had a great experience. Many of my previous fears are dissipating quickly, and I'm excited to share what's changed in me and what's changed in my ability to look at my future of camping and how I've resolved a lot of my issues with it. But I'll go into that later. Anyways, thank you so much for stopping by. It's a pleasure. Decks used Quen Forget Tarot de Gap, Joker's Tarot, Whispers in Time, and the beautiful and fun Todd Alcott Sci-Fi Tarot. Thanks for coming. We'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.